Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of today's newsletter is going to be approval-seeking beta male. Well, you definitely, after you hear this email, you definitely don't want to become one of those. I've got an email here from a guy who basically spent his whole time that he was dating this particular woman seeking her approval, trying to become what she said she wanted in order to win her affection, win her love, win her approval. And she's basically been telling him that he doesn't make enough money for her and her parents want her to be with somebody that's financially stable enough. And so she's basically communicated to this guy and told him that, oh, well, you basically don't earn enough money and that's why I'm breaking up with you. But the reality is, like, once you go through his email, you see what the real problem is. Because women don't dump men that they're head over heels in love with. That is just a fact of life. They dump men who they have a low attraction for, and for guys they don't value very much. And when a woman dumps a guy, even though he supposedly has all the qualities that she says she wants or that he thinks she wants, the reality is she just was not that into him. I remember I in the past year I talked to a guy who had been dating an Asian woman, a Chinese woman. And this particular woman had like 20, 25 different guys. She came from a pretty good family. And she's got all these guys driving her around, buying her things. And so this particular guy that I was coaching was actually dating and hooking up with her. And there's literally like 20, 25 dudes around that she could just call at any one time. They'd drop what they're doing, pick her up, even though she's on a date with this particular guy. These other guys that are driving her around are doing all this crap, jumping through their butt, buying presents, buying gifts, showing up for her birthday party, just lavishing gifts. These guys, these wealthy Chinese men have more money than common sense, thinking that eventually she's going to choose them. If they just do enough for her and they seek her approval enough, that eventually she'll anoint one of them her husband. In the meantime, she's having sex with this guy who really didn't have a lot to offer her financially. He just had his shit together, and obviously he was doing the things that I was teaching. But it was just amazing to me that these are successful. Some of them are older establishment. They pick this woman up, and they're nice cars, and she's on a date with this guy who obviously was my client, and it just, they don't make the fucking connection. They're thinking eventually, yeah, okay, I don't care that she's on a date with this other guy. Eventually she's going to see my value and she's going to choose me. And it's just amazing how much these guys delude themselves, and they would just, any little sliver, any little nugget of hope, they were willing to give this woman the benefit of the doubt, even though she's dating and sleeping with someone right in front of her. They're all thinking, oh, in the long run she's going to choose me. It's just absolutely amazing. And that's kind of the same mindset that you see here. It's like this particular client of mine, what you see in this particular email from this guy is you see the same kind of behavior that the guy in the email was exhibiting, which is the same thing that this guy that I was coaching last year was seeing with all these other wealthy, successful older men that were trying to win this woman's hand in marriage. It's just unbelievable. But sending her on trips, taking them on her, she wants to travel somewhere, she just call one of them up, gas up his private plane, take her and her entourage, whoever the hell she wants. And just because the guys hope someday, if I just do enough for her, she's going to say, wow, this guy's really awesome, I should just go ahead and marry. I mean, it's absurd, the things that people do for love. So this is a good email to learn from, because unfortunately this guy can't really see the forest through the trees, so to speak. So I have a quote that I wrote, and then we're going to go through his email and see what he's doing. And the quote says, if a potential lover does not see your value when you are going through your struggles and challenges on your journey to success, they do not deserve to share in your triumphs, successes, victories, and good times. Never demean yourself by seeking to change your life, give up your dreams, or become something you are not in an effort to win the approval and love of someone who will only date or love you if certain conditions are met. Someone who truly loves you will happily join and support you on your journey to reaching your full potential, not be willing to join you only after you have reached it. Love is about giving, not horse trading. So, with that in mind, let's take a closer look at this guy's email. He says, "Hi, Corey. I met the girl of my dreams." Notice, what does that tell you right away? Oh, this is my fantasy. So, there's a pretty good chance that this guy has been unable to see the fact that this woman's particular reality is not matching his fantasy. And men and women, all of us are guilty of this. It's so hard to do when your emotions are engaged. You just completely come blinded to it. And you see it in movies and TV all the time. People just get carried away in La La Land on their emotions, and they ignore the fact that the person that they're in La La Land with is a fucking train wreck. It's like that just keeps you in like a self-imposed prison of your mind and of your heart. He says she's a 9, financially successful, great personality, highly sought after woman. Highly sought after. What does that say? Well, I'm not good enough for her, and this woman has just got lots of choices, and I'm hoping that I can be the one guy that wins her. Does that sound like a guy who thinks, hey, I'm fucking awesome, I'm the best thing that's ever come into her life? He ain't thinking like James Bond would be thinking. He's thinking like some guy that just doesn't have a chance. And maybe this particular woman will grace him with her presence. I made changes to my persona to win her over. In other words, I changed who I am in order that she might like me. Posture, confidence, communication, tactics, etc. She left her ex-boyfriend for me. That's a red flag. So she was with another guy, and she ditched this other guy to be with you. She sounds like such a swell person. She's not shallow at all. She left her ex-boyfriend for me, and she technically cheated on the first day we had sex, but she broke up with him the next day, and I successfully held a great relationship, at least in his eyes, with her for over 2 years. Remember, if a woman's crazy, head over heels in love with you, she's not going to dump you. Women only dump guys that they're just not that into anymore, or they were never that into in the first place. That's reality. And like Ayn Rand said, you can ignore reality, but you can't ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. And that's what this guy's doing here. He's ignoring reality. He's not seeing this situation for what it is. I diligently kept the honeymoon phase going with weekly dates, flowers, surprises, traveling, and constantly working hard to make her laugh, be happy, etc. Just notice the focus. 100% of his focus is on meeting this woman's every need, waiting on her hand and foot, giving her everything that she supposedly says she wants. What about what he wants? What about his career? What about his mission? What about his purpose? What about his hopes? What about his dreams? Did this woman ever once ask anything about him or what was going on in his life or what he wanted? Probably not. And he probably did not notice that because he obviously hadn't read my book. Making her laugh, be happy, etc., without making it seem like I was overly dependent or needy. Well, that may be true, but you were definitely seeking her approval. You weren't a guy showing up who felt like he deserved to be there. You showed up with a guy who felt like he had to win a contest. And the only reason a man feels like he has to win a contest to win a woman is when he doesn't feel like deep down that he's good enough for her. And that, my friends, is exactly why this particular guy got dumped by this girl. Is because deep down, he doesn't think he's good enough. And remember, people will act consistently with who they view themselves to be, whether that view is accurate or not. If you don't think you're good enough, you're constantly going to be doing things that are demeaning to you and yourself and your dignity in order to win this woman's approval. To metaphorically throw yourself in a dirty mud puddle so a woman can walk across your back and not get anything on her little shiny shoes. The only thing that will happen when you do that is she'll get in somebody else's car and go fuck that person when they act like a real man. And you'll be laying there all muddy and dirty and wet and rejected. We also had just a few light arguments in these 2 years, always resolved them quickly, and we were very happy. At least you were very happy. And again, as I say in my book and in countless videos, men who understand women do not argue with them. You communicate in an adult manner. can have spirited debates or disagreements, but you don't argue. Then it just becomes about winning your point. And even if you win an argument with a woman, you fucking lose. Even if you think you won, you fucking lost. I believe this because on the day she broke up with me 7 months ago, she told me she's never been happier in any relationship. That may be a true statement, but obviously she wasn't completely head over heels in love with you. Meaning her attraction level for you on a scale of 1 to 10 was definitely not a 10. It was probably a 3, 4, or maybe a 5. I can't stop thinking of her every day. Well, rejection breeds obsession. And comparing every woman to her. This guy, dude, you have completely put yourself last in everything to do with this woman. You will never be successful long term with that kind of behavior. A woman wants an equal, a teammate. And you don't act like a teammate. You act just like this client I was talking about who was dating this woman from China with all these suitors. You're acting like a butler, like a manservant, like you're there to wait on her hand and foot. The nuance is she told me before we got into the relationship that she had expectations about the type of financial lifestyle she wants, and she needed someone to buy a house. Well, what about her earning some money? What does she bring to the table? To start a family and allow her to stay home with kids for the first couple of years. Well, what else is she going to do? What about struggling together? What about both of you working? You did say that she was financially successful. He says, at the time, and still, I hold a job in a small business which brings in roughly $100K a year. It's pretty decent living for most people. There's a lot of people in this world that would love to have that. I mean, you got people that are subsisting on $2 a fucking day to survive. It's like you're making $100,000 a year. It's pretty good living. A lot of people would be happy on that. The problem was some debt, which would have taken 1 or 2 years to pay off. It's not a problem. Just figure it out. In short, the breakup went like this. I've never been happy with anyone, but I'm 33 and I want to start having kids before I'm too old. I don't feel I can wait another 5 or 10 years for you to get there financially, buy a house, and allow me to stay home with kids for the first couple of years, so I feel like I'm choosing money over love. Bullshit. She's just simply not in love. She may love you and she may care about you, but she certainly doesn't feel like you're somebody that she could live without. She's looking at you as just a money mule. Somebody to pay her way and pay her bills. That just sounds like a swell relationship. Let me sign up for one of those. We both cried on breakup day, and we also both cried 6 months pre-breakup when she warned me that she was worried I wasn't making enough money to fulfill her expectations. That's when you say, well, you know what? It'd be really great if you also were making decent money and can contribute to a family, because being a part of a family means you're on the same team. That means it's my job to meet your goals and your needs and your desires and vice versa. You're here to give and contribute to me unconditionally so I can make my dreams and my hopes and my goals a reality as well. Because if we're not both committed to that, then there's no reason to be in a relationship. I'm not interested in making 100% of the effort and you just sitting there doing nothing and continually telling me I'm not doing enough. Hello. Have some self-respect, dude. However, she was torn because she was so happy with me. She was so happy with you that she dumped you. Keep telling yourself that, dude. This instance followed a one-time drunken outburst where I spewed my financial fears of meeting her expectations. That's what's really going on. You basically said, hey, I'm a pussy and I don't measure up. And human beings have two primary fears. Fear that we're not enough, in other words, fear that we don't have what it takes, or fear that we won't be loved and accepted by our friends, family, peer group, or this woman who you're seeking her approval. And my eyes watered once or twice when I told her I didn't want her to feel like I was holding her back. Ooh, that's really confident. While I did my best to continue exuding confidence. Dude, you were not exuding any fucking confidence when you were saying that to her. Sorry to burst your bubble. You just basically said, I'm worthless and you'd be better off finding somebody else. And eventually the woman goes, you know what? You're right. That's a great idea. I'm going to go find somebody else. Because think about it. If you don't believe you're good enough for her, and she already doesn't think you're good enough for her, well, hello. That's really attractive. Your attitude should be, oh, you're going to leave me to go find somebody that's got more money? Well, good luck with that. Can I help you pack? I'll drive the fucking moving truck. Hello. Don't forget to write. While I'm fucking somebody 10 years younger. Maybe I'll go find a rich, hot girl. Give me a fucking break. Is it likely I ruined my image to her with that one time drunken outburst? No, dude. That was just one of many outbursts like that you didn't realize that were making you the low man on her totem pole. And my eyes watering once or twice when I told her I didn't want her to feel like I was holding her back. Total beta male. But, matter of fact, I think it was a week or two ago, I think it was the New York Times came out with an article. It's something along the modern man. It's like I've never read a more vomit-inducing piece of fucking bullshit in my life. Cry and cry often in front of your woman. Holy shit. Fucking beta mailer. Google that. New York Times, the modern man. You will laugh your fucking ass off. It's like that's the kind of crap that brainwashes most people. They see that and they go, oh, if I just cry a lot, a woman's going to love me. Oh, wow. Weight on her hand and foot. It's just so many vomit-inducing beta male tendencies. It's just, oh, man. I feel sorry for the poor bastards that read that article and go, well, this really sounds reasonable. I think I'm going to do this. Unbelievable. I think it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. It's just the modern man, the modern male. What the fuck? People wonder why. It's like one of the guys, the guy that shot all those people at that college a couple weeks ago, one of the things in his little manifesto, he was frustrated, upset, he couldn't get himself a girlfriend. When you have shit like that in the New York Times going, oh yeah, that's how be a fucking pussy, and yeah, girls will really line up around the block for you. And you wonder, like, people go through life like that and they can't fucking get a chick. The guy had mental problems. His mother apparently was a bit of a Fruit Loop herself. And yet you got idiots in the fucking media know nothing, including our fucking know-nothing president. Like, yeah, let's ban the gun. Yeah, the guns are killing everybody. It's like, let's ignore the fucking problem. Let's ignore the fact that people that aren't getting any pussy, that are loners, that have a hard time making friends, people that got mental problems. It's like, there's kind of a pattern there. You kind of see the same thing over and over. Let's just ignore that. The guns are the real problem. We need more gun control. We already have plenty of gun control. All these assholes pass the background checks. Like, okay, that makes total sense. All these people are dying over it. You know what? If we take this group of people here and we just cut all their arms and legs off, maybe that'll help the other people over here that are sick. That sounds like so much... Oh, man. It's like the bullshit you see in the news and the media. It's just fucking unbelievable. It's like, doesn't matter what station you watch. It's like they're all pushing their own kind of propaganda, whatever they believe in. There's no such thing as journalism anymore. They don't look at stats or statistics or the fact that the murder rate has been plummeting or the fact that the countries where the guns have been banned, guess what? There's still plenty of gun crime. Isn't that interesting? Well, if we ban all guns, then we won't have any gun shootings. Oh, yeah. But guess what? The only people that got guns in those countries, guess what? They're the fucking criminals. What a genius idea. How's prohibition working? How's the war on drugs working? That's fucking great. Let's try to control everything. Anytime something happens and you get people in the media talking about let's control this or let's control that, that's what it's all about. It's not about solving the problem. It's about control, because you got a lot of people in this world that think if a small group just makes all the rules, then we'll legislate ourselves into this fucking this wet dream utopia. Meanwhile, it's like we got Mexico is becoming a failed state, and people are getting their heads cut off left and right. It's just people getting murdered left. It's just unbelievable, the savagery that's going on down there. Anyways, back to our email. I don't see her as materialistic or shallow because she's originally from China, and this financial support ideal is deeply ingrained in her culture. Dude, she's fucking shallow, and on top of that, she just ain't that into you. She's a waste of your motherfucking time is what she is. Plus, her parents advise her on it as well. Boy, they sound really shallow as well. Think her mom and her dad are in love with each other and have a great marriage? Wonder when the last time was her mom and dad actually had sex. Wonder about that. We stayed in touch for 3 months post-breakup, with me always letting her initiate contact. I gave her plenty of space, never reaching out to her, except once or twice during the last month. You never chase after somebody who blows you off, especially somebody that tells you a load of bullshit like this. Oh, you think you need to find a guy that makes more money than me? You know what? Great, honey. Good luck. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. And by the way, I got you a moving truck and a couple of people to help you move. Don't forget to write. I hope it works out for you. I'm going to go fuck somebody 10 years younger and richer than you. We broke up 7 months ago and haven't had contact in almost 3 months, except for the fact that you've called her twice. You never chase after somebody who treats you this way, ever. Because that says, please do it to me some more. I didn't have enough abuse the first time around. My question is, I'm now pursuing a new career path that will allow me to earn twice what I currently make. Are you doing it because of how much money you can make, or are you doing it because you feel like it's your passion and your purpose and that's what you were put in this earth to do? Or are you doing it to seek her approval and say, hey, a few years down the road when I get my degree, I'll be making a lot more money and hopefully you want to marry me then? Which would have been enough to satisfy her lifestyle, but I won't be able to work that career until I graduate 3 to 4 years from now. Dude, come on, man. You should only be going back to college and getting a degree if that's what you really want to do. If you got a business that's already on the verge of becoming more and more successful, and it might take you 4 or 5 years. If you have a passion for that, keep doing that. If she doesn't like it, fuck her. Find somebody else. Please, there's 7.5 billion people on the planet, and half of them are women. She's one chick. I don't hear anything good about this woman. She's going to marry a guy that she doesn't care about, probably because that's what her own mother did. Let's have a loveless marriage, and let's teach our children all about what that looks like. Yeah. Because I feel the breakup was totally financially based. It probably partially was. However, the bottom line is she was not in love with you, dude. Because you acted like a beta male. That's the reality of it. I want to communicate this career change in letter or in person. Come on, man. Have some self-respect. In hopes she'll keep me in mind over the years. How about I hope she fucking forgets all about me and loses my fucking number while I'm fucking somebody 10 years younger. In case there's another chance years from now. She needs to earn another chance with you, dude, not the other way around. You definitely need to read 7 Principles to get an X back. And you also should read my book 10 to 15 times while you're at it. Should I tell her in person or on a letter? You shouldn't tell her at all because it's none of her fucking business. She had her chance and she fucking blew it by letting you go. Now you should be dating somebody hotter, better looking, and with a better attitude, and somebody that actually fucking loves you and cares about you, and who would never be stupid enough to let you go. Is this entire idea stupid? I don't know. Let me think about that. Of course it's fucking stupid. Come on, dude. How can I stop thinking of her every day and comparing every woman to her? Easy. Find somebody better. Read my book 10 to 15 times. Get out there and apply it. And say, never ever again will I lower myself to the level of groveling that I did with this fucking loser. She doesn't deserve you, dude. You deserve to have a woman who would jump fences to be with you. A woman who doesn't care how much money you got in your bank. You want a woman who believes in you and believes in the beauty of your dreams and wants to love you and support you and be your biggest fucking cheerleader on your journey to making that happen. Because then you know she's really on your team, not there just because your bank account is a certain size. Is there any advice that you can offer? Yeah, run like hell, delete her fucking number. If she ever reaches out in the future, assume she wants to see you, make her come to you for at least 3 dates in a row. And you got to say, look, I don't care if you don't think I'm making enough money. If you don't like it, then go find somebody else. But we can continue to hang out and have fun from time to time. And I'm going to look to find a woman who appreciates and values me for me and supports me the way that I am. And I would make her do 100% of the calling, texting, and pursuing. That means never, ever again will you ever reach out to her for any reason. Again, review what I say in 7 Principles to get an X back. She needs to be earning another shot with you, my friend, not the other way around. Any ideas or opinions? Again, read the book 10 to 15 times. Definitely need to review 7 Principles to get an X back and apply it. This woman is just, come on, dude. The groveling, it's not attractive. Obviously, she didn't find it attractive, and it didn't work for you, and it won't. Make your life a masterpiece. Make your life something that you're proud of, and do something for a living that you love and you enjoy. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, if you keep building this business, maybe 10 years from now, you're a multimillionaire from it. And if this chick doesn't want to wait around, so what? Find somebody younger and hotter. That's what I would do if I were you, dude. It's like, I mean, seriously, come on, man. So if you'd like to get my help personally, the quickest way is to book a paid phone, Skype, or email coaching session. You can choose any of those options by going to my website, clicking the products tab at the top of your screen, and just follow the instructions for booking whichever option works best for you. And I will talk to you soon.